Alright, welcome back guys to another video. I've got some news. First of all, I was officially invited to work on the Java Discord server, which I think is pretty cool. Not the Java Discord server directly, but the Java bot, which it's like I'm like actually part of something, basically. So, you know the Java Discord I'm in, well, they have a bot and many other things that they code themselves, and I was invited to help code. I'm specifically gonna be coding the Java bot. But yeah, it's nice to I'm actually part of like a bigger thing. Something is actually pretty big in my books. I'm actually contributing in coding, and I'm considered a worker or a coder for something this big. Anyways, so far in my game progress, I just have this. Um, yeah. Anyways, okay. Okay, so right now, I just need to. So okay. Um, Before we start this, right now, let's go to where this is called. You can see new speech cloud. Let's system.out.print hello. You'll see that when I run this, even though I'm just tapping the spacebar once, it calls it multiple times. We only want it to happen once. So what I'm gonna do is let's see, spacebar. So damn. Okay, wait. Let's go back. If key and okay. So basically, I need to make it so that it's like a one-time going down. So if I say if key manager dot space down dot space bar key manager dot. So what I could do is make multiple methods, and what I could do is say public boolean on key down and public boolean on key press, on key, not press, on key, on key held, and public boolean on key up, on key released. We can say, then we just pass in the specific boolean. So this would be static. So on key, so on key down, and we'd want to pass in a key. So we'll just say boolean key, and boolean key, and we can say so let's actually just start with the easy one. So on key held, we'll say if key if key is pressed, basically, then we're gonna return true, else we're gonna return false. Okay. Okay, yeah, same thing. On key down, we're gonna say, um, uh, huh. So we're gonna have to have some way to control this, so we'll say, um, private boolean on key down delay, maybe, equals to false, is, has key pressed, has pressed, and then we'll say private boolean has released, set that to false as well, and we'll say, um, hmm. Okay, so we'll say on key down, we'll say if has key pressed, has pressed, um, and, okay, no, if key and has pressed, then we're gonna return true, right? So if the key is being pressed and has key, if the key has not been pressed yet, before, then we'll say return true. And actually, we're gonna want to do this, return true, along with saying has pressed equals to true. All right. So now we'll say otherwise, else return false. Right. Otherwise, if the key is not being pressed, we'll return false, and otherwise, if the key has been pressed, we'll return false. Right. Oh, wait, no. Else if key has not been pressed, then we'll say, sorry, if the key is not being pressed, then we'll say has pressed equals to false, and we'll return false, right? And we'll say else if key, if has, and we'll say else return false, right? So if the key has been pressed and it hasn't been pressed before, then it's going to return true, and then it's going to say, all right, it's been pressed. Otherwise, if the key hasn't been pressed, then it's going to set has been pressed to false, right? And actually, we can say okay, you know what, let's leave it. Otherwise, if the key hasn't been pressed, then we'll say has pressed to false, and otherwise, if the key has been pressed, and you know what? Fuck it. Let's just leave it, and let's go over to sorry. So now let's just test to see if that works, if my logic is correct. Let's just go over to here. If key manager dot on key down, and we'll say key manager dot spacebar. Okay, it's working. So now if we do so pressed. Yes, it only does it once. Perfect. And okay, that's good. So on key pressed works. Let's go over to our key manager once again. We'll do the on key release. Okay, so it's going to be a tiny bit different. So we'll say if the key is, you know what? Okay. We'll say, I think I know a way to make this shorter. We can say if. Okay, wait. So let's look at on key down. We'll see when is the key released. So it's here. So we'll say if the key. So if the key is not being pressed. You know what? Let's do false first. All right. If the key is down, then we'll return false, right? And you know what? Let's do return false. Right. If the key is down, then we'll return false because it's not being released, and we'll say has released equals to false, right? And then we'll say else if it has if it has already been released. No, that doesn't make any sense. Just give me some time to think about this. I don't know, my mind is a bit fried. I just got the vaccine yesterday and my entire body is aching. Okay, so for you that was just like a millisecond, and for me that was a few minutes, but I've got it working, so I'm gonna press down and hold it in 3, 2, 1. Right, you can see that it said pressed once. Now I'm gonna release my spacebar in 3, 2, 1, and you can see it now says released. And that's good. Anyways, okay, so I can just delete that, and yeah, now that's only being called once. So now, okay. So now this works. All right. So now we go to the speech cloud, and is this gonna work? Okay, I'm gonna have to set up the rest of the speech cloud later, because essentially, this is not how it's gonna work. If I'm going to be, it's only gonna pop up when somebody else is talking, right? But if I'm doing it with me talking, then like in here, then it is just not gonna work. So, yeah. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next devlog. It's been 15 minutes, and I might work on this right after this recording, but we'll see. I am doing stone block with my friend Ben Streck. I don't know if you want to see this. No, usually people don't, but I do love making systems. Yeah. So let me run this program. And actually, before we go, let's of course commit this. We'll say, not fixed. We can say key manager opti key manager optimization. We can say no wait, one key manager optimization. We can say that we simply did on key pressed, on key released, and on key held. Is that spelled right? Held. Yeah, it is. And then we can say 2 worked on cloud. 2 changed cloud, or sorry, speech cloud interaction. Right, and we can commit that, and that'll do its whole thing. Commit and push. Push. Okay. And now, yep, everything's been pushed and perfect. One commit to the origin master. Yippee. And yeah, alright, so I'll make a separate video for the stone block, but yeah, see ya.